This is day 1448 of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. As we usual on these times, today's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Limud should be as close for Am Yisrael in all the battles that we face. Today we're doing Yeridea Siman Kuf Tzadik, Sif Simon Gimel to Sif Ayin Aleph. Samech Gimel. Yivada, you should know the kol nimtza al chalukah, anything which is found on her garment. She's bar bin yonzeh. I said chaluk. I keep going back to garment and robe. Same principle. I guess if she's wearing a skirt which is separated by an elastic from her top, that would be not the same halacha. That would be like where she's wearing a chagor, obviously. But in any event, the kol nimtza al chalukah is bar bin yonzeh. Ma'ir chalukah about the cloth, talking about a robe / garment which she had previously checked. That's that's according to the Shach and Rabbeinu Yucham. Yesh istapek. We can wonder. But essentially, it's bar the Masara l'chul tmei. That which you said that if you find the stain on her skin only, she's tamei. Av shober shul tabakim even when she passed through a marketplace of butchers. Uvishneim tahora, and if she finds out both the chaluk and the basar, she's tar. Imachluk eno baduk. What if the garment she's wearing when she goes through the marketplace is not checked? Do we say that the stain on the garment was there already? Therefore, now her status is that she only found it on her skin and she's tamei. Okay, when or since we found it now, both Torah she's Torah. It tends to be lenient here. If she's more according to what we said, they have Charlios al Besora Gankim Bilbad. It's possible it's only on her skin, came up from the bottom. But it's more evidence based to say that it came from her body, because it wasn't found also on her garment. But now we find it on her garment, even though it's not what she pre-checked. Nevertheless, it removes the evidence, the preponderance of evidence that it came from her body. That's from Sidrei Tarav. I must have Masif Nun Gimel. Samadak, Kran's bar already explained. The Nimtza al Beis Yachol Chaluka Shkrein Arbel. I guess that means sleeve. You find blood on sleeve to Meah. She's Tomei Ima Mokom Shenimtza Ba'adam. It's the place we found the blood, but Beis Hayad on the sleeve Magir connected Beis Hatzur reaches opposite the genitals. Even it requires a lot of bending down. Avarash is up here. B'Mishnah the Roa Kesem the Chashin Shapashtaya Beis Yad Mi has Roa V'Nafa connected Mata. Another alternative is that we're afraid that she took off the glove, and this is the Beis Yad here seems to be some sort of a detachable sleeve or a glove. Would be the same halacha. Fell down. The entire glove / detachable sleeve can reach the genitals, obviously. Yes, I did Tavad Suche. So Rosh says Nibok. The Bistam Chashin all the time, but the Rashi. By default, we assume, like Rashi said, that anywhere found on the sleeve is a problem, as long as it's a removable sleeve or a glove. Achil Omer is buried. The Lishlo Pashari Beisah, but she just says clearly, I didn't take it off. El Ena Tmei El Makom Shal Yidei Shechia Chom Makom Zeh Shebeisah Levo Connected. Then she's not Tomei Ella unless the blood is found in a place where it's by bending down. It's possible for this place on the sleeve / glove to come opposite the genitals. It says in brackets, so whatever Sidrei Tarav said, he's arguing. It's also become clarified that the sheet which she covers herself with, or on which she lies, sorry, on which she covers herself at the time she's sleeping. But any place you find a stain, she's tummy. So dark on the clothes are because they constantly get moved around. It's true. Also, you find a stain on the tichel with which she's covering her head when she sleeps, or what she wears as a belt. She wraps it around somehow. There are men that we say the Be'esa Shane at the time of she was sleeping. Some of that kerchief fell opposite the genitals. So obviously, if she tied it very strongly, and she woke up, she also found it tied strongly. Ain't a not concerned because obviously it did not go opposite the genitals. But that which she always uses as a belt is tamei the makom chagor have kilomatim in the chagor, because as we said, Coach Kusabas, he said opposite the belt is considered to be the same as below the belt. Samachay Kosta Rabbeinu Babes Yosef Sifta Azor Shnei Noshim Shekisu Roshim Chaluk Echad. Says right, you have two women who cover the head with one garment. Shetei Teres to Mot Tamei V'Machas Kista of one covered, V'Acher Slokista not the other one. Obviously Shnei Lov Shulcha Chaluk, they both wore the garment. Nitza Kesamam Chagor, and the stain is found above the belt. Osasha Kista Tmeya. The woman who was wearing this garment is Tamei, and the other woman is Tar. Akan L'shono. Umayrek is Shleim Torah. So we're both Tar. Because one is Tamei, Talina, and Akesem, Batmei, Kamoshi's Bar. We're going to see that we link the Kesem to the woman who's already Tamei, as we shall see in Sif Kuf Yud. So too, if the stain on one is above the belt, and one is below the belt, they both wore the same garment. Loki Suraj and Khan didn't cover their heads at all. Osa Shelmata Meachagor, the one which has the stain below the belt is Tmea, Vashnia Torah, and the second one is Torah. Being Mzushlamala, if the one on top, the one on top over the belt, Kistar Rosha, covered her head. So then Shtein Tmei said, "Botamei Zevin Yakisu." This because she covered her head with it. I guess obviously the one tied down tight, and Zevin Yakisu because she's wearing it. Shetzla Harei Lamata mean Ha Chagor, because this is tantamount to being below the belt. None of this happens during the day and or during the night. It's the brackets, but only which it comes to say that the levush is astonishing. Just like the cover when she covers herself at the time she goes to bed brings the severity to the stains. Like we said, so okay, so any place you find the stain to Meah, she's told me. Brings the kula also. If she has a wound on the side of her neck, in a manner which you can't assume that the blood comes from that, when the stain is found beneath the belt, where normally blood couldn't reach, but since it twisted around, so it could have gone there. And they pushed also la chaluk l'miskasebo. But if she then takes off she takes off a garment, and then she uses it as a cover, tell makasa, she can assume that if it has a kaz, it came from her makkah. Tzavara mamish. No. I skipped one. Shani Omer, I say, it twisted and turned got there. But when the wound is in her neck, literal neck, and below is a total makosa, you can regardless assume it's linked to the makkah, I guess the front of the neck. Come from there below the neck, connected based on Torah opposite the genitals. And therefore it would be considered tahar because it came from the neck wound. Samachzan. The Kemachis by the Kesem Tmea. Since we said that a stain below the belt is tamei, above the belt is tahara. You find two stains. One below, one above. The top one slips along the bottom one that we can assume it's tahar. For me, the shame just like the top one definitely came from outside. from elsewhere. Okay, so to the bottom one. Dafka she dashlon these darker. So if she knows she didn't jump, they made us if she doesn't know for sure that she didn't jump. I've seen her ask I'm half because she's darker, but she doesn't know the opposite that she did jump. The B'chai Gavna nimtza l'mal bilbat tohera. Which in this case, if you found just on top, should be tar. The mala bilvad and it's may elim king adashin is darker, which not see from because above the belt she's only made if she knows for sure that she jumped, like we saw. We come nevertheless she is darker. Here she has to know that she didn't jump to be tahara. Okay, because if not, we laugh we say the opposite. Most of the zeshel matabam migufa we attribute in the other direction. We say that just like the one at the bottom came from her body, so to the one on top. But in this dark about that, we say she jumped without paying attention. Team number 11 because we say the opposite. Because since the upper one came from elsewhere, so to the bottom one would do so. Have a state seals. It's a double attribution. Talia attribution del Yom Ba'alma, that we're assuming the upper one came from elsewhere. That's any assumption. And also clear to the tabellion, and then attributing to the bottom stain to top stain. I guess like a fake chumrah. We don't say don't do two attributions. Therefore, the top one would have to be clearly and definitely from outside. She knows that she doesn't jump. That case is for sure from outside, and we not need any attributions. Samech ches. This also only works. The top one has more than a gris. When we can't assume came from a bed bug. Definitely came from elsewhere. It doesn't have a gris in the top one. Gris on the top one. But tachta yesh gris on the bottom one does have more than a gris. You can't say the bottom one is connected to the top one. We say the top one is from bed bug, and the bottom one comes from her body. So they don't look the same. One is red, one is black. We can't attribute one to the other. As I'm going to explain. That's where the robe was pre-checked. Then we know that what came on top came from outside. The lucky of not name maybe the stain on top is an old stain, and this is a new stain below. Also she was involved with blood, so he says she was involved with a gris and a little bit more. Here there are two gris and two oats, one on top, one on bottom. She's telling me, we say that the top one comes maybe from her involvement in other stuff. But the bottom one comes from her body. Santas, when his body has already become clarified, whatever you can attribute a chasm to, we do. By the time she looks at the abundant, because some of the abundant, therefore, killing by the tone, therefore, lead, and we attribute. Kate said also, if she shechted an animal, only Saska, some she's involved in stains. Oh, she sat next to me involved in stains. Oh, she passed to a marketplace of butchers. Beneath Saddam goes down, she finds blood on her clothing. Told her about Torah, she can assume came from elsewhere, and she's Torah. But I feel that she's not wearing three robes, one on top of the other. But inside, I feel like you find it even only on the bottom one, the one which is next to her skin, which is two layers removed from outside. Torah, she's Torah. We don't say came to Amasi. It says it came from. We don't say it says it came from elsewhere. Lama learning sub Elia. Why'd you find it in the top layer? We say she be a chaluka. We say she lifted up her top layer at some point to walk, whatever. Mashayim became some bizarre as opposed to a stain on her skin. Beyond our time is even the base. We explained already that the reason for this. Therefore, we don't attribute to a stain on her skin, only to a wound which is internal, not internal, intrinsic, whatever. Yeah, but then she's by the shachta tola kesem. That's so a shech animal she attributes the kesem to that. Who I think was asking about? So it's true if she's about the meat. She mocheres basa says when she sells, she's a butcher. Her hands are always dirty with the blood in the meat. Tola ba kesem, she can assume the kesem came from the meat. But me, we say, oh, either the blood dripped on her robe, or she touched the robe with her hands. So we explain the chol there, as long as her hands are involved in blood, hands are always busy. But me, we say, she must have touched them in the place where the stain came. Came only this is true also if they were involved with meat or with fish, etc. Portion of it's obvious. The tolling, anything which you can remotely assume that you can be attributed to, you attribute. You're going to Garfat such as if she scraped out chicken excrement, or she takes snuff with her round nostrils. And she tends to have nosebleeds at that point. It looks like blood. You can be told that if it's possible. A person who has hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids? Is that the way to pronounce it? Hemorrhoids. A person has hemorrhoids. In the practice of meditative, sometimes blood comes from the rectal opening. She can assume that that's the blood here. All she wears red upper garments, or red socks. Sometimes when she's sweating, then it causes the color to come off the garment. I'm blanking on the right word right now. She puts on a red blanket. Some people have a bloody show from the rectal opening on the garment. She didn't wipe herself well when she went outside to tend to needs. You can attribute the stain to that. Certainly when she's raising a young child, he's dirty with excrement. So to all similar cases, you should ask the women the questions what her status was. If it works out reasonably, you can be connected to them. Give a wise man wisdom, and he will become more wise. You test. I'm saying I know. Kishem shetayla, so I mean, just like she can attribute the stains, in herself and other circumstances beyond being simple blood from the Nida blood. She can also attribute it to her son or her husband. They're involved in stains, or bedamim, or in blood. Or they have wound. She normally touches them. But they normally touch her. With this, she can attribute even a stain on her skin, says the Sijitara. Only with a young child, not with an adult child. It's not so close to his mother, it's constantly going and being in physical contact with her, obviously. Sorry, if the husband and the son were involved with blood, but you don't find on them blood, she can't attribute it to them. Unless involved in something where normally the blood flicks. Such as blood, etc. It's true also if she lies in bed with women who have wounds in the body. She can attribute her blood to them, just like her son and her husband. And that which you assume that to attribute it to a wound on her body. It doesn't matter whether the wound and the stain are in the same place. such as when both of them front and the back. Or the stain is when her hips narrow. Yesh mikama on the other side. Even though that's one in front, one in the back, she can contribute. Her garment, or when she's sitting in line, can twist around. And the backside comes in front of him, or vice versa. Not for ba. And the drip into her from that makkah, and she will remain tahora. I believe that's it for today.